and how to utilize energy on a day-to-day basis, man. And before we even get into it, man, there's a lot we got to talk about and understand before we just take the terms and run with them, because we got to understand where something actually come from first. So everything we see right now around the world, you might not believe it, but 90% of it be actual native hobbyism. And this come from just indigenous tribes themselves. But especially when we talk about Native American, especially if you're American. You get what I'm talking about? Let's go into it. Look, even when it come down to the sky people, when it even come down to talking about stars, as we know, I did a whole video breaking down that the stars we see as what we consider or learned in school as a star is not an actual star. You get what I'm saying? Those is actual satellites that was placed by there, and we actually done seen those get launched off. When we see them having those little things where it be like Fahrenheit 14 or something like that. You get what I'm saying? And they'll be done launched it off, and they say they launching it off into space, or they try to you get ratings or something from the moon. No, those be actual satellites that people set up. But before going into that, the actual star people was, the actual people that say we come from the heavens. So before even understanding that, you gotta have that down pat before we could get into these things. Otherwise, you'll get lost, and that be going on right now. Even when it come down to the astrology behind these things, you get what I'm saying? Even astrology, the zodiacs, the word astrology is theirs. You get what I'm saying? But when it comes down to the zodiac system of how it works, this was even stole from natives. The names of vehicles, the names of cities and stuff like that was even stole by natives. But you'll see them go throughout time trying to, manipulate it or morph it or change it to a person that they're selling this land to. That's one of their type of settlers and stuff. But before we get into it, that's what makes it important today, especially when you look around and you try to figure out these spiritual systems that you got is actually legally presented to you, but the actual truth is not legally, is actually prohibited from actually being used, man. So we're gonna get into it, man. Bump all that. So when y'all look right here, sky people refer to as celestial beings or spirits often associated with stars, considered as ancestors or visitors from the heavens. So when it comes down to constellations and all that, it is talking about people. It's talking about how they align their tribes. It is not talking about these actual star in the line like the Big Dipper and so forth. I'm going to break down all that for y'all. And also, when it comes down to zodiacs, I wanted to show y'all this first. So we're going to move on through it. Look, the medicine wheel and all. They don't really hide these things. They just mix them up, and you just got to be the one that try to figure it out. So all the way down to the animals on the zodiac system. So how they try to change the animals around with the Chinese zodiac, of how they try to westernize everything basically too. So when you looking over from here, you will see everything basically westernized. So they don't try to use the seasons as much. So when they copy the medicine wheel, and we're going to break that down in a little bit. But yeah, we're going to break down the medicine wheel in a little bit of how they do that. But even when it comes down to the zodiacs, this is what they'll call the zodiacs today. And this is the reason why when you look into old books like the Bible or the Torah, all that type of stuff there, you're not going to see the word zodiac unless it's an updated thing. But it is actually talking about low-hanging fruit, or they'll be talking about animalistic natures. And the messed up part about it is you got to pay real close attention, because if you really look at it, it's like mockery. It's like really they calling each Indian tribe a different type of animal. You get what I'm saying? So the animals that they're discussing is actual humans, actual native tribes and stuff. So even when we came down to it, like I said, they're being funny because we called each other these things before they came. It was like, oh, this our zodiac system is running by, the 12 sections. No, that's 12 sections was already ours. Like you can see right here, unlike that of the Western astrology zodiac. So we was already split into 12 sectors. You get what I'm saying? We already had it like that. And the red hawk was the Aries, the beaver was the Taurus, the deer was the Gemini, and so forth. Y'all all could see it right here. You know what I'm saying? The brown bear, the Virgo, the raven, all the way down to the snow goose, the otter, the wolf. That's why you have the wolf moon or the harvest moon. You get what I'm saying? So a lot of times they literally copy these things. And they don't hide it. Look, I'm looking at the same sites that y'all can find them on. And that's the reason why I like to do it like this. Because, as me, I'm going to use my sun sign. I'm going to use it. You get what I'm saying? I'm going to show y'all how to actually show the logical proof of something. And the funny part about it is, like I was telling y'all, they be trying to say it ain't spiritual. So I break down the spiritual stuff. But then I can also have these videos like this where I come back and I show y'all the same stuff right here. Where where they actually telling you, hey, we stole it, but do not call it the word stolen. Okay? Don't call it stolen, you guys. Call it, thief. We just took something. Like what? Like what? Nah. That's sarcasm. Like that's not even funny. Like, so when they got out of this, it's really disgusting. But either way, look, while it's not literally stolen in the sense of being physically taken, Native American spiritual systems were significantly disrupted and suppressed through force. Look, y'all see this? Policies by the who? All right. You know what I'm saying? Look, I'm not the one saying this. This is y'all stuff that y'all created and y'all put out here. So that is crazy. Established by boarding schools where traditional practices were forbidden. You see what I'm saying? So now look. I'm wondering how you lose your culture. Hold on real quick. I'm wondering how you lose your whole culture. Hold up real quick. Wondering how you lose your culture. What? Watch this. Which refers to someone who is, what is this? Is a slur. This is someone who lost themselves. So there's a whole world of lost people. A whole world of lost people. Y'all think that some of these religions is actually, no, everybody lost. They can't even identify themselves, who lost identity with their culture. So when we talk about the actual culture, we talk about being native to our lands. We forgot about that. And that's why the whole world is disrupt, because nothing is being natively ran. So nothing is being like us in nature, as above, so as below. We're not shaking hands with that and understanding it as much now. You got a whole world going against that and more parading with man, which is someone that takes things and, manipulate them. Like takes an animal from way this side of the world and take it way over here to breed with another animal from the other side of the world, which these animals would have never came to each other, never had a reason or none of that. You're not talking about, we don't have animals going from continent to continent. You get what I'm saying? Like this is something that they're doing, or something that they have to put their hands on. This is not naturally happening. Even with the hurricanes and stuff, that's not naturally happening. So I done showed where weather modifications was approved and things like this. So they see how we call things, windy world, springy tail and stuff like this. Curly tail, which is, the beginning of the spring. So we call it that because the first spirit that sprung. So this is the beginning of the year. But the way they teach it, look, they're going by their business institute. So they're going by, the Gregorian calendar and stuff like that. And you will see how they play their manipulation. So even when they created religions, it was all a tunt in the face to go against each other. And like I be saying, this be all conquer and divide and stuff. But people get mad at me because I don't want to pick up a bucket hat, or because I don't want to carry around a Bible everywhere I go. Not realizing like a man wrote these things. And then the man that wrote it was being funny. You are the animals in there. They named Native Americans and the indigenous people that they came and stole lands and colonized. They're naming these things this. They're naming them animals. Like I just showed y'all. They'll say the bird, the falcon. They'll name some, and they got different terminology for the same animals being in different geological locations depending on what animals are there. So nature itself already had that supported for what you need in your area. That's why people go in other areas and they can't survive as long, or they come up with all these type of things. So when they come down and talk about surviving, and they even talk about living, imagine this. Everybody that got off that Mayflower, or whatever they want to call that boat, or however they want to do it, everybody that was getting off there, they even said when it was on those seas, leaving their world or where they was from and going across those oceans and seas and all that there, they went to getting sick. So when they went to getting sick, when they came aboard, they came to us like they was peaceful people, of course. So it wasn't like nobody just gave up. So at the end of the day, it was all about manipulation, even from the very beginning, or even how they named lodges and stuff. That come from us, of having a chief or a head and stuff like that. When your mom or the lady that's in charge of the tribe actually pick someone. So when it come out of these things, it wasn't talking about no ego thing. There was no need for that. Everyone had a position and knew how to follow. So when it comes down to positions, these are the same things what I was saying earlier with the constellation with the stars. These are the positions they like to talk about, especially when it comes to Waka Talka, all that type of stuff. They like to take this. The great spirit, that's the great spirit, the great plains, the great sea, the great river. They take all these things. They see what these things was great, more than good. And they manipulate these things. So we deal with a whole bunch of stuff of like them coming to take over native things and turn it against each other. Now hold on, what I wanted to show real quick. There's one of these things up here, y'all. I had to set to the side. Okay, boom. Y'all see this? I want y'all to look at this. These are tribes, right? Pawnee, Cherokee, all this. The Lakota, all this. Look, and it's talking about how they do. The Lakota is associated with the Milky Way. So when they be talking about the Milky Way being a star constellation in the sky, no, they're talking about a tribe. And they're being funny for how they trying to line up their satellites up there. So don't let it get you. So then even when they talk about the Big Dipper and all this here, the Polaris, all that stuff, all of it. You see this stuff. You can't miss it. That's why I got it right here. So nobody don't think I'm curving it. You can actually see this jump. But at the same time, when we talk about how they try to do things, where it was, I seen something that was talking about the modern way. I guess that was on the other page. But yeah, like I said, the modern way, look, this is what we call the moon. The moon and the sun. We knew that it was the same being. We knew that it was reflections of light happening and stuff like this. They the ones saying that they could go actual to these things. They actually saying like they could go to this cloud. Like they could go through, like what in the world is going on here? We understood how these things were working. And we understood the power of God, of how it's being, shown. But look at it. People don't even think the sun and the moon is important to that deed, or they think it's so important they forget to live their own life and not understanding how to follow the suit, what's going on. So at the same time, what I mean by that is the medicine wheel. You know what I'm saying? It's the medicine wheel is broken down to fours. Those fours is the seasons. So when we talk about the Vedic astrology, this is where they stole that from. So they stole that from us basically using nature. And like I said, when it was getting, I don't know how I got off of it, but back then when they was getting off the boats and everybody was sick and stuff like that, they needed medicines, they needed herbs. They didn't know that you could use plants in these ways. They didn't know what type of plants grew at these type of seasons. They didn't know what to do, what animal is more to use, and how we could keep things without being so greedy and taking it all the way until it don't exist no more. You know what I'm saying? We understood the balance of nature itself. So when we talk about spiritual forces, of course, these were the most spiritual times in these times. You get what I'm saying? So right now we're looking at a whole world of unbalancedness and chaos. Because why? We have things getting manipulated. Further, even it's talking about a lemon down to it's a lemon extract, and it might not even be made from a lemon at all. It might be made from two other things that make a lemon taste. It's like, it's crazy out here. So even when it comes down to us understanding man and female, the sun, they was calling that the male spirit. That's what I was trying to explain to y'all. The moon, they was calling that the female spirit. Thy father, thy mother, in that way. I don't get how people get lost and think it's other stuff. They wanted to make it other stuff. So these religions is the things that get people going. But at the same time, we study looking up every day like, damn, we only see 2 planets. I can see how the stars get people because people might not know the research of a satellite and how a satellite made of what it looked like from a distance. You get what I'm saying? But at the same time, that's still lost. Because before then, it wasn't no other time they would talk about stars besides like star people and them being the stars of being small representations of those beings. So like, it was just saying we all in many micro versions of each other. Like, we have organs and organs got other things going on. And then you know what I'm saying? Instead of getting smaller and smaller on a scale like that, but that's how the whole world created. And then scientists try to call it like an organism or something like that. But either way, let's go back into it, man. Because I'm telling y'all, it get interesting. Boom. This is what I was talking about, the medicine wheel. Y'all see the crossing? So even when they try to do the crossing like that, when they was talking about it in the Bible and junk like that, people don't understand. When it was like this Noah's Ark, you know what I'm saying? Basically talking about the sun going into Cancer, the beginning of summer. When it's talking about the Taurus, the Canaanite lady, that's what I was finna say, the sun going into Taurus. When they're talking about the sun going into Libra, talking about Mahat. When they talk about all these different things, people thinking these actual people and stuff. No, it's talking about seasonal, transitional changes that's going on. And when they use our spiritual system, they know that this is how they connect with nature, but this is how they disconnect with nature. So they have people being disconnected with nature on purpose. And I'm not saying go out there and roll around in grass, but I'm saying understand the life of the grass, understand the life of an animal, understand the life of a tree. And that's why we be like, hey, be as bird, be as tree, be as all this. And then you got Bruce Lee, fake be as water and all that type of stuff. So he understanding, be with the emotions, or don't go drown against the wave and all that type of stuff. So when we talk about spirituality, that's the way it was done. It wasn't talking about, no, you had to come up with all this damn complicated junk. And you could have just took what you had. Okay, this not growing no more. Let's not use it. okay, these fish is starting to look like they're getting smaller. We might need to wait before we fish. We might need to wait for these type of fish. We might need to go over here. We might need to switch it up. Nature was already providing everything we needed. It's just what happens when people get greedy and want to take over land and all this other junk. So either way, down to the point, y'all, this is the part I really wanted to get to. I couldn't wait to get to. About how they take over and be very sarcastic with what they do. How they even, y'all done ever seen the story about the tobacco plant? They go deep. But when we talk about even the car names, Chief Pontiac, go do your research. Chief Pontiac is an actual Indian. So when you go down to that of natural tribes and stuff like that, these people actually take indigenous tribes, as y'all see right here. Google not even hiding it. So even when I was talking about they'll switch the geological location, got things going over here, not supposed to be over there, that's already unnatural. But when it comes down to stuff like this is just being cruel. This is trying them calling themselves being funny, and it ain't funny at all. Look, Cheyenne, Dodge Dakota, Thunderbird, yeah, Ford Thunderbird, all this stuff right here. All this stuff. I'm talking about everything, the military and all. Look. Aztec, come on, man. Cherokee, look again. Hiawatha, look. Oh my, and it's messed up. Seminole. I even had to do a breakdown, and I was telling y'all about the damn Redskins and stuff like that, man. They take over everything, and so like I said earlier, they got a team called Redskins. So at the end of the day, they still trying to be funny too, because they saying, hey, you white on the inside now. Y'all, it's our football team that we came up with. We took y'all way of coming up with y'all sports. Because we always had things that we did. And it was before they actually considered them a name of sports. You get what I'm saying? We always had active things we did. We got ways that we had to show them how to climb up mountains and how to get through different parts of the world. They didn't know how to do that without without all that damn metal and all that other stuff they got to use to be able to get through. You know what I'm saying? We was using native stuff where we could take a rock, sharpen it. We could take a damn stick and kill a whole alligator with it. You know, stuff like that. We didn't have to use guns and stuff. So when it come down to what they taught us, that's it. They taught us how to craft metal. Use metal. But before then, we just showed them everything. When to plant something, how to make the soil, how to make the fertilizer, what you could use to mix and blend and make a better this, how you could get this type of taste from this, what plant's sweet, what you should not touch, what you use for this, what you could protect from this. So it might be like just saying certain animals might be scared of a certain plant because they get touched by it, they might get allergic reactions. You might have that to protect you from these type of animals eating this type of food, this type of stuff here. When we actually had protection and stuff already listed, when we had a whole good spiritual system that they took and played with and cut it up and watered it down and manipulated the hell out of it and gave to people. You get what I'm saying? And that's what people are sitting here taking right now. Well, I was finna go at y'all. Okay, boom. This is what I was talking about earlier. I wanted to show. The Native American tribes to represent a connection to the universe, good health, and balance. See, these organ systems getting real crazy right now. And yeah, you can say it's the food too that's playing a part of it. But at the same time, your body might not be as good as it used to be. Because you know why? The food got something to do with the unbalancing though. All right, so let me take that right back. The food got something to do with the unbalancing. Because even if it's fake food, that's the part of that's unbalanced. Or even if it's fertilized food, that's part that's unbalanced. You know what I'm saying? So even when it come out of foreign lands, they colonize them. And if they find out about it, that's what they go do. I told y'all they take over them. So they could put it all up in the wraps. Okay, at the end of the day, this is why we see these islands and all them popping up, or if it ain't man-made, they know that it ain't, 9 times out of 10 gonna last. Or they'll try to rename it. It'd be naturally made, and they say it's man-made. Nah. It been there. Y'all just didn't show us that on the map and didn't upgrade that. So they be having all different type of stuff. So the same thing with the medicine wheel. This is what I wanted to get to. East, south, west, and north. So when we looking at the position of the sky, this is what they was talking about. So y'all already probably noticed a lot of natives back then always kept up with looking at the sky. They always try to make it like that. But that don't mean just heaven above. These are the heaven above where we see the reactions going on and the actions going on. You know, thou father, we see how he acting. With thou mother, we see what she got going on, telling us how to feel and stuff. So a lot of us already had that, especially when you had your tribe already. Think about this. You know how they use the zodiac system and how they use you know, tarot cards and junk like that. We already had our forms of that, but we didn't use it the way they did. They made it something like, when I say the rot part, that's why I like to say that tarot reading sound a little better. Because when you add that T, that's just show you how rotten these people is, of the greed and the things they'll go through to try to get where they're going. So when we talk about nature itself, it's already at points where it evolves itself, where certain temperatures created certain different animals and certain, you know what I'm saying, certain things happening where they might say, oh, why the temperature dropped like that? Because it's supposed to. Not for you to try to keep it the same, or not for you to try to keep manipulating and all that. Man, listen, y'all, it get deep, man, when we talk about stuff like that. So when it comes down to a lot of things I want y'all to search in yourself, and y'all can chime in, is look what wars they done had. You see how long these wars is? It was not easy taking over. That's why they be trying to be funny and name all their car companies and stuff after that. Because we be like, damn, don't they? But they had the drives, they had the engine. They was like a steering wheel. All that stuff is native hobbyism, and them trying to be sarcastic to pick on us at an all-time high. So if some of y'all actually learning from somebody that actually teaching, let's not let them start off from what was gave to them. You know what I'm saying? Just like, oh, the zodiac system, and it was always called Aries and Virgo. No, that's why some not trying to be funny niggas from the hood don't care about that shit, or people that's from like other areas in the world don't care about it. It's not naturally for them. But if you told them, hey, you ever paid attention to this animal? You ever realized the way that this animal moves, it kind of resembles you in a small way? Oh man, it get deep in there. Because even when we talk about birds and people able to oversee something or be able to see at night better than other birds. So when you even think about the species within itself, like I said, once again, we living in something, and then something living inside of us, and then it's inside of that, and it just keep going in, and it's like a whole bunch of things been inside of each other. Like we all part of one big organism, if you want to look at it. You get what I'm saying? It's crazy out here. So that's just what it is, and that's how we look at it. So we look at it like we the small version of these things. So not an actual star. So that's what I wanted to break down, man, because I don't know where people be going from. And I never been the type of person that was like, you know, tuned into so much of stuff. But I was always like, damn, I like these colors. Damn, I like the way this feels. Why do I like this? And even like some people like, why do I like Thanksgiving? Man, them people ain't even know how to grow goddamn vegetables the right time. Man, people that had them damn arrow onions, tomatoes, and all that. They ain't even know how to grow none of that stuff. They ain't know when something was ripe. You get what I'm saying? They came over here with really like no mind of none of that stuff, but to build on something, to construct something, to like, and it's messed up because y'all might not understand how deep it go with even racism and colorism. It's not talking about actual white man. They saying white man as in like these people came out with a whole different inside. Like the mind that these people have is like take over. It's not about them necessarily having that type of color. You get what I'm saying? So it go deep. Even to the day we see Uncle Tom's and all that type of junk. I had to break that down because we can't say but certain stuff because they have already created stereotypes. They already created stereotypes and stuff where it plays a role. Like you might be talking about something realistic and they might be thinking you talking about it on a way of being trying to taunt them or thinking that you bad mouthing them. It ain't even the case. You get what I'm saying? It's just what it is. These type of minded people is what they call this, because they looking at these people like, man, what in the world is this, man? Why they think like that? They think clean to something that's supposed to be native. Like they thinking clean to something that's supposed to be dirt or something that don't supposed to be like this. Why do they want it to work a certain way? And that's what they consider clean, or that's what in the Bible and these type of books get people lost in of what good actually is. Some people don't even know what good actually is. You know what I'm saying? So it get confusing. You might be thinking you're doing something good by giving somebody a poison. You might just kill them. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. And I ain't trying to scare nobody, but it's just what it is, dog. Like real talk. So when it come down to them having us do certain things and certain agendas and certain ways to go about things, you got to know there's a reason why it's a certain goddamn way. There's a reason why you're not able to just have your own free thinking. Basically, when you're born, if it ain't your family pushing you, to Christianity or pushing you out of Christianity to atheism and stuff like that, you see, you'll get lost because you'll never understand why you can't actually find yourself when you actually don't belong to none of these things. And that's the real life, y'all. But anyways, man, that's all I'm gonna break down today on that. If y'all want a part 2, we'll do that as well, when I'll go and show y'all the tribes, show y'all the 88 constellations, which is the, the California up to the Canadians and all those type of Indians and stuff like that, because it's not just Native Americans. It's all about the indigenous people when we talk about on a real note. Not talking about how Pan-Africans and how Muslims and all those people get lost into thinking it's something else where it's just a color thing. No. And that's the reason why I had to bring up that colorist thing before even finishing the video, because at the end of the day, it get lost. Oh, and let me just show y'all this real quick. Look, boom, 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 boom. Y'all see this? Real quick, because some people might be like, dang, I ain't never heard of those tribes. Because you never did research. You just took what they gave you and just ran with it. You get what I'm saying? And that's cool. That's cool, because now they done set themselves up to have it that you could do research. You see this? I'm telling you, every single one of them, every single name. And when it comes to cities and stuff like that, it get a little different, because they be trying to tell you who constructed this city, who name gonna be on it. You know what I'm saying? They be giving that to their family members and junk. So you got to understand it on that level. So don't think you special. And don't think that. So you not against me. We obviously all together until we wake up and realize that. And they the ones turned us against each other. And we ain't got to talk about no they. We can see exactly who they is. We ain't got to point no fingers. We can see exactly who they is. The ones that do not want us to learn about certain things. You know what I'm saying? And that's cool. Because at the end of the day, ain't nobody teaching it. I ain't teaching it either. Shit.